So hi, hello, and welcome again. Microbehunter here. Look, I made this bread here approximately, yeah, I would say maybe a week ago or 10 days ago. I added some olives to the bread and I forgot about it. And look what happened in the meantime. Those gray spots that you see here on the bread, that's mold. Yeah, so the olives have grown moldy. And of course, I'm going to put it under the microscope. But there is a more interesting question really that I would like to explore. How come that this bread actually turned moldy, but those potato chips here, which basically yeah, have been out for months now, essentially did not turn moldy. So how is this possible? Okay, well, that's also one of the things that I would like to answer in this video today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it first under the stereo microscope, the mold, and then I'm going to prepare again a microscope slide, and we're going to have again a close-up look at the fungal hyphae. These are the cells of the mold under the microscope. So let's get started. Well, that here is the lowest magnification that I'm able to show you under my stereo microscope. So for the higher magnification, I have to prepare a slide. And we can see, of course, that there is quite a bit of fuzzy stuff growing on the bread. And that these are the cells of the fungus. And the fungus basically will grow into the bread and it will release chemicals, digestive enzymes to break down, well, whatever the food is. And then it will reabsorb the nutrients. And this is basically how it grows. These hyphae, those cells, of course, can also produce certain poisonous substances, and this is the reason why you definitely do not want to eat this bread, because you actually you really don't know what you're actually eating. When you zoom in a little bit more, so let's do that. Then you can actually see that yeah, the dense network of fungal cells here. Yeah, and yeah, it almost looks like a little bit like cotton or even cotton candy. But these are the cells, obviously, and what they do is they produce spores. These spores will spread over the air, and then, of course, when they settle down on a new place, then they will also start to grow, provided that there is sufficient moisture, of course, present. So this is a pretty, disgusting a piece of bread here, but nevertheless, I think quite fascinating to see a little bit again the complexity of nature, and that those fungi, they try to take every opportunity to find places to grow and to reproduce. Yeah, and before I actually make a microscope slide, let's put the potato chips under the microscope as well. So here, these are then again the potato chips. I have to focus again here. Okay, and you can see it's pretty nice looking. Actually, some salt grains maybe are on it, but otherwise no mold. Now, how is that possible? Well, the answer is quite simple. Of course, spores fell on both, of course, also on the potato chips as well as on the bread, because they're simply present in the air. But there was too much moisture because of the olives in the bread, and therefore the spores found an ideal condition, an ideal environment to reproduce. And those potato chips are not only salty, but also quite dry. So this means that fungi cannot develop quite well here, and that's why, of course, you can eat them. Okay. You get the idea. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a sample from here, and I'm going to put it on a microscope slide, and then we're going to have a closer look, and then we're going to see how the cells of the fungus actually look like under my compound microscope. So I'm going to now use some tweezers to maybe take off a few of those cells, and you see, wow, look at this, yeah. Really like cotton, and look, and I'm going to now transfer them on a microscope slide. Yes, so here we go. Yeah, I hope that it came off. Okay, it's difficult to see a little bit. Okay, a cover glass goes on top, and then let's have a look. So let's add the cover glass now. Let's remove any excess water using a little bit of tissue paper. And then we're ready to go. Yeah, and this is basically how it looks like. Of course, here the fine network of the fungus, the hyphae, the cells of the fungus, and look at those round structures here. Now, when I first saw it, I said, "Well, wow, these are spores." But actually, I have to tell you, I have some doubts about that because they do kind of look a little bit irregular in shape. Normally, when I see spores, they're quite regular in shape. So I don't know really what this could be exactly. There are also some other interesting structures up here. Yeah. So I'm not quite sure whether these are spores or not. Yeah. But yeah, that's here is of course an air bubble. Yeah. But yeah, spores normally are a little bit more regular in shape. Yeah, but in any case, quite nicely visible again are the thin cells here of the fungus. So let's go up again a little bit with the magnification. Yeah, and this is now using my 60 times objective. Yeah, and something that's very typical of fungi generally is if you look very carefully here now. I'm going to now move the arrow here. You can actually see that the cells here they seem to branch off here. That's something that can be seen relatively frequently in fungi. That essentially the cells are branched. Okay, so yeah, so this is a little bit an interesting specimen because I still did not identify yet what those round structures are, and because in the past when I've seen spores, then usually they're scattered throughout the whole specimen and not just clustered around one specific area. Yeah, so I guess further studies have to be done because actually, honestly, I have to be honest with you. They do look a little bit like starch grains. Seriously, I mean, those clusters here, they look very much like starch grains, and I wonder if this could not be something a little bit from the bread itself. Okay, so maybe yeah, that's an air bubble, this round thing here. So maybe I did take something from the bread itself. Look, it's also an interesting oval structure here, and yeah, so these things here in the background, they look a little bit more like spores. Okay, but as you can see, there is always plenty there are plenty of things to discover. But also considering the coloration and the way, these are definitely starch grains. Honestly, yeah. So what I think has happened here is that maybe when I took a small sample from the bread, that I actually accidentally also scratched off a little bit from the surface of the bread, and yeah, this might actually not be from the fungus itself. Well, I think as you can see, there are always interesting things to discover. Yeah, and just wanted to share this with you today. And remember, if you want to prevent your food from becoming moldy, just make sure that they basically are sufficiently dry so that essentially the cells cannot grow. And of course, you probably want to keep it in a reasonably clean place to reduce the possibility of spores falling into the food. I think I'm just going to leave it at that. Yeah. And I'm just going to say happy microbe hunting as always. See you around next time. Bye bye.